Futhar.
It is. Anyway, so this is Jas.
And this is Sher.
Where's the Sher?
Crunching the chips.
Munching, crunching. So this is Giving Up the Ghost podcast. We're just gossiping before all this shit started, but that's what we do. So get it out of the way. It'll be edited and in a safe place that nobody will have evidence of what we discussed.
Oh my god, yeah. No. You don't want to hear that shit anyway.
You don't want to know the shit that we were just talking about. Anyway, so today's episode we are going to be talking about tunnels. Oh my god, tunnels. It's like our favorite, one of our favorite. Now, a lot of this stuff will be regurgitated from the last time, but we had somebody on our Facebook page this week ask us about tunnels. Somebody sent them our last article. But we don't write shit.
No.
I mean, we do episode descriptions, but I mean,
you write shit.
We write, yes.
I mean, you don't write shit. You write, not
I
shit.
Write.
But.
Yes, I am a writer. But I mean, I guess somebody had sent him the link to our episode where we did talk about tunnels that one time. And we've been always meaning to revisit it. So we don't have a lot of new stuff. But we have some interesting commentary. I mean, commentary is good.
Commentary is good.
Yeah, so just
commentary.
Commentary is good. So just to revisit this, basically, the whole of downtown is like an ant experiment. Like, there's tunnels everywhere. No rhyme or reason. Some of them are like tunnels that were accessible by foot. Some of them were tunnels just for the mere fact that they needed like steam heating to go through and stuff.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So they're not humanly accessible. Yeah, like I mean, but that's what we want to find out because there's supposed to be a lot in the Exchange District. Like say Al Capote times, right?
That'd be cool.
Booze running and prohibition. We'd love to find more stories on that. So we're not giving up. We're not stopping.
I still try and find the shit.
And you know what? And that's why we like to talk about it now, because maybe some people can reach out to us and tell us what they know.
That's right.
But the unfortunate thing is, like, a lot of these people are dead, right? Departed.
That's also right.
That is also true. So, I'll start off here. So basically, in 1922, there was a huge cyclone that hit the city and put about 180,000 people in near dark. And then they built a plant that would generate electricity by burning coal in the steam boilers that would then drive the turbines, creating the electricity throughout the Exchange building. Small and large warehouses, buildings in the downtown area, all would then tap into the city's steam heating process. Yeah. So the steam would be conducted to the various buildings by underground pipes that you would need the tunnels for. So it says here, sorry, my glasses situation. The tunnels being underground.
Zoom in here.
Yeah, unfortunately, dear, I can't. Yes. So they soon became a mystery to the public, and it says here once they were covered, and all kinds of stories would start to build up as far as like when we came into the Exchange District. Oh, somebody had said once they came into the Exchange District 20 years ago, we were told that yes, there were tunnels that connected everybody, and the trenches that were dug and the lines that were creating were actually misunderstood, because when it comes to the great stories and rumors of the system of the secret tunnels that they have existed in the city for decades, you wonder if this could be true or not. So I think a lot of people were using the word tunnels as opposed to, like, tunnels, when you think of tunnels, is something that's
you can walk down.
You can walk and access, but
as opposed to like a little crawl space hole
right.
or whatever.
And I think a lot of these tunnels were misunderstood, that they were just small enough for the piping for the steam to go through.
Right. Oh, right.
So I think
they sort of just blew
a gray
them off.
area, right?
Yeah.
So I think then that's where you get the rumors.
Right.
I have some pretty cool pictures. So when this episode airs, I'm going to try and put them, and these are all from the public archives, about when they started to form and build the tunnels underground. It says here, for more than a century, a tunnel under the dome, few have laid eyes on, have been intriguing to Winnipeggers. So the dome being the legislative building. So
the dome.
Dun, dun, dun. The tunnel underneath the Manitoba legislature, stretching under Broadway and over to the Manitoba Powerhouse, which is right beside the Bond Street Jail. It says that is in process of getting a facelift right now.
Oh.
I've seen a lot of construction around there in the last few years, So the project underway on the grounds of the legislature building consists of repairing more than 100-year-old underground tunnels to extend the current life of the tunnel for another 100 years. And that was from a provincial spokesperson from 2022.
Okay.
So the tunnel's history goes back roughly 109 years when the province was in the process of constructing the new Parliament buildings, which is the legislature, or referred to as the Manitoba legislature. Historical photos from that time show slow construction as the grand epicenter of Manitoba politics began rising from the ground in 1913. You want to read the next little piece?
Yes.
Pice.
Little place. I'm trying to find a map.
It would be nice to have a map.
I know. I did have that map once. I wish I would have saved it, but now it's gone for...
Poopy.
Yeah. Between a world war, a resignation of a premier, the Winnipeg general strike, not to mention a scandal including one contractor who overcharged the province thousands before fleeing the country, the arduous project would take nearly 7 years to complete. Eventually, the legislative building opened in 1920, costing more than $9.3 million.
What would that be now? I'm going to Google that quickly.
Frick, that would be... I don't know, 1920?
Well, you read, I'll Google that. How much? 9 million?
9.3 mil, 1920.
And what was the year? 1920.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says, below the feet of the Manitoba politicians who were just settling into the newly minted chambers, there was the tunnel. One revolving columnist ventured into them nearly... Did I say revolving? Puck and the columnist wasn't revolving, sorry. One roving columnist ventured into them nearly 100 years ago. Right under the dome, there's the most delightful tunnel you've ever seen in your life. The writer described, he was identified as TBR. He accounts for the Winnipeg Free Press, or the Manitoba Free Press, published in March 7th, 1925. First, TBR writes, you can go down an elevator, through a door, into a narrow passage, where those exploring were greeted by a sign warning legislative members, if you indulge in conversation in this passage, you will be instantly dismissed.
$90 million. Sorry.
$90 million. Holy crap.
That's a lot of beans.
No wonder there was a scandal on some contractors.
No shit. That's a lot of beans, man.
Wow.
And a lot of people died constructing that, too.
I can imagine.
There's like... I do want to take that tour one time. Sorry not to derail the conversation.
No.
But there was, I think I heard something like 13 people died while constructing it over the years.
That's surprisingly small.
I know. But like... they don't want to admit to that kind of stuff, right?
13 that are recorded, probably, because they didn't have a choice, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think some people are even, like, in the foundation and shit.
Well, I can imagine that people that were, like, homeless, we could probably get people that had, like, no...
background, no history.
Yeah, that's right. Traveling people just going through here.
Young guys.
Need to work for whatever.
Right.
1920?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It said, after plunging down a flight of stairs, there's an entrance of the tunnel for more than a century. A tunnel under the dome. Few have laid eyes upon has been intriguing Winnipeggers. This tunnel is narrow and full of pipes which run along each side of it, and there is heat in the pipes, and the tunnel is as hot as a mouthful of red pepper, TBR writes. Just as your knees are beginning to wobble, it seems to get a little cooler, and then it really does get a little cooler, but not much. And by this time you have crossed under Broadway, burrowed through Broadway like a mole, and emerged in the powerhouse on the other side of the street. And the engineer sees you and says, how do you do, members of the legislature, I presume? And then you faint. Because after all that hot tunnel, you ain't got none reserved left to stand. Nope. And such imputation as that. That is, God, that must be hot.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine if it's
steam
plant would be fucking hot, man. I'll put this here. Oh.
Yeah, I'll just put it there.
Sure.
All right. I apologize that there was some duplication because when I was trying to copy and paste the pictures to keep with the story, it would redo the verbiage all over again.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I spent so much time trying to cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, urban legends are floating around the tunnels, with some speculating the subterranean passage could be used in an escape for the MLAs facing a riot or for prisoners trying to sneak out of the old jail, which is the Long Street Jail.
True too, yeah.
Day tripping.
Yeah.
Historical photos show the slow construction in the Grand Epicenter. I think we discussed that one before. In 1913, again, I'll upload the pictures at the time of this episode. It says, a look inside the tunnel as it was constructed underneath the Manitoba legislature. Cool. And then it says, the real use of the tunnels is a little lackluster. So they provide utilities including the steam, heat, power, and IT services to the legislature building. And what we described in the last episode, we had found out that apparently back in the early 90s, I think it was, MTS had bought 80%.
Close a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah, they MTS apparently allegedly had purchased a lot of this infrastructure to run their cables and their fibers. I know, that's one of the pictures I've got.
That
It's
is a
pretty
creepy
cool.
looking picture,
It is
eh?
so- yeah.
I wouldn't want to walk down there.
It's sort of like a wooden frame that goes through the
Yeah.
tunnel. Yeah. And they did it for their fiber network, but apparently they backfilled. Now that doesn't make sense to me because
No, they're not going to put wires in and then backfill it.
you would need access to
Yeah.
fix or repair anything damaged. Why would you backfill it?
Yeah, let's just fill that shit up. Yeah, no, I don't think
I think
so.
they said that just so people don't go looking, right?
Yeah, I'm
you
sure
know.
there's access somewhere to it.
Yeah,
Gotta
exactly.
be, right?
Exactly. So it says here, where was it? It says the repair job that was started was back in 2020 due to some deterioration and leaking in the tunnel. The province is restoring it by digging them and building a concrete jacket around the outside of the tunnel with waterproofing membrane. So they're talking specifically from the legislature to the powerhouse right now.
Right.
Yeah. Heritage Winnipeg executive Cindy Tugwell, their director, Cindy Tugwell, says that the tunnel beneath the legislature is just one of an intricate system of tunnels running to all the provincial buildings, an artery for employees to maintain the heating systems from the powerhouse. While its purpose may be somewhat mundane, Tugwell says that the tunnel itself is no less fascinating. Tunnels always meant something secretive. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of secrecy always has intrigued us to what really goes on down there, she says. So this article is from 2022. Sorry.
1922.
Yeah. Tugwell said that she has never personally been in the tunnels, but not for the lack of trying. Good on you,
Yeah.
Cindy. Love Cindy.
Keep going.
Yeah. The tunnels themselves are not put into public, not open to the public, and she had put out feelers to see if the tunnels could be included in the Doors Open Winnipeg, which makes sense.
That would be cool.
But due to liability issues, the idea was denied.
Yeah, I guess that would kind of suck, eh? Yeah.
Kind of like us doing the bus tour for Spirits and Spirits.
someone's
It's too
gonna
much
like get
liability.
hooked under
That's
there.
right. For more than a century, a tunnel under the dome it says, a few have had laid eyes on, have been intriguing Winnipeggers. While its purpose may be somewhat mundane, Tugwell says that the tunnel itself is no less fascinating.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. There's for you.
Yep.
I can give you more
Yeah,
because there's
for
not
me,
much
no,
there.
I was sorry. I
Yeah.
was just looking at. I found a bus route from 19 fucking whatever it was.
Oh, interesting. Well, you got nice sun that comes through.
Yeah. I think the tunnels are very interesting because they're telling the stories of these buildings and going back to Doors Open. It's really about the stories and the people and the buildings, or just the backdrop. Well, that's true. And then it's showing a look inside of that tunnel from, this one is constructed underneath the Manitoba Ledge. Sources are the Archives of Manitoba. What? Eaton's, okay, hang
Oh, yeah.
on.
I can see where all that
Says
is.
from Main Street, CPR, Subway, Ledge Building, and Eaton Store, circa 1914 to 17. Like that's enough. That's far. From Eaton's to the CPR, that's pretty far.
It is pretty far.
So this is where the tunnel leads. The Manitoba Powerhouse was built in 1915. Oh, where is the Manitoba Powerhouse located?
Well, that's the one right beside the Vaughan Street, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's
But
pretty.
then there's
it doesn't
James-
even look like a. It looks like a goddamn church.
It does. It's a nice
Hey?
building, yeah.
I know.
But there is another powerhouse, which is now the St. James Powerhouse, which is closer by, like, the museum.
Oh, okay.
But then now they've converted that to, like, that was the pump house, St. James Pump
The
House.
pump house, yeah. Yeah.
There's another cool picture here. It didn't translate too well. Again, I'll put that up when we put this episode out. It shows the construction crews working on the tunnel underneath the Manitoba Legislature, which is pretty cool. And again, stretching to Broadway. So the province says that the current work at the legislative building grounds, again, that's 2 years ago, is expected to be completed. It is completed. They're all gone. I've seen it. So the project, so it was completed by, this month, March 2024.
Oh.
I have some Reddit articles. They're really hard for me to read.
Oh, it's white.
White on black.
It's white on black.
Yeah.
She's like, my eyeballs.
But these are really cool, so I'm going to read this. So apparently this 9 months ago, this made it turned up on Reddit. Not from us.
Not from us. Someone
Because
else.
people want to know. Curious minds want to know. This one person, their sign-on is called Island Maximum Rights. There are tons of old tunnels around the old Mason Hall downtown.
Oh, the Masonic Temple.
Masonic Temple,
Yeah.
which was Mother Tucker's, right?
Yeah.
So So it says
Be a good spot for it.
it would be would solve a lot, right? So it says when Discreet Boutique closed down a few years back, it says the business I worked at bought up the old stock shelves, displays down in the basement. It's a huge empty room. It says here that has been turned, that has tunnels going off and went down one of them only to flip phone flashlight found several rooms that's creepy, off of the tunnel with lights actually on. Pretty sure someone lives down there now. Oh, creepy. There was a running washer and dryer. Oh,
what?
mole people.
I was just
Mole people.
It's like people living down there and they're worried about their washing.
I don't know.
That
Gotta
is
be
weird.
clean. Gotta be clean.
That is weird.
Right. Dress for success.
That's right.
Also found a big concrete staircase going down
Nowhere?
into water.
Oh,
A room with only a steel building. Oh, and a light bulb hanging above it. Oh, that's creepy.
Nice. Stairway to hell with a light bulb.
And into
water.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Lovely. In a fucking tunnel with a washing machine.
Oh, that's not good. No, that's not good. Next one writes, Paper Axe writes, there are steam tunnels from the ledge to the jail and law courts that are blocked off due to asbestos.
Oh, that's right.
I can
fucking
see that.
Asbestos.
That's right.
There you go. That screws the whole fucking going for tunnel walk right there.
Yeah, not going to happen.
No.
When Winnipeg was first being built up there and was a central energy plant downtown for heat, the buildings, so there were tunnels connecting many of the buildings with the central plant. Yeah, which we know. But people are just confirming what we've already known.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that just throws it. I forgot about the whole asbestos deal. Ain't no one gonna be like fucking going down there.
No, for sure. The building I work in had asbestos.
Yeah.
Kung Fu grip.
Kung Fu grip, right.
Hi-ya!
I can confirm this. Through the majority of the spiderweb under the law courts is used for archive and general storage services. Little Birdie writes, much of downtown Winnipeg was run off of steam heating with giant tunnels and piping connecting all the buildings who paid for shared heating. If you check out the archives during Doors Open Winnipeg, they often have drawings of it showing the tunnels. I've seen like a hand-drawn fucking map. When Winnipeg was first being built, there was a central energy plant downtown to heat the buildings, so there were tunnels connecting many buildings until the central plant was closed. Pandemonium 13. There was a tunnel at another train station and another hotel a few blocks north on Main Street. It ran to the basement of the Canadian Pacific's Royal Alexandria Hotel that once stood on Higgins. As per security guard, the entrance from Manitoba Club was sealed over 50 years ago. I know for a fact the tunnel existed and also connected to the Manitoba Club between the station and the hotel. Source was a distant cousin, was a staff at the club in the 60s and 70s. That would have been a time to be at a club, boy, holy. Apparently the tunnels were sealed around that time. Grouchy Fan, 7540. There was or is a tunnel from Misericordia Hospital under Wolseley Street to the location formerly that was the nurses' or nuns' residence.
Interesting.
It was in use until around 8 years ago. There was a swimming pool down there.
Yes.
Yes, at the Miz. I've seen that.
I showed you the picture.
That is so weird.
Because remember?
Yes.
I have pictures. Somebody
weird.
stuck me pictures of that. I'll have to post those. Now that certain people aren't dating certain people,
I'm
going to post that picture.
Putting that there.
That's right.
At the end of the tunnel, there was until around 2014. But now there's a new high-rise on that site of the nuns' residence connected to the Skyway.
I think the booze just hit me. Anyway.
So the imagination can only guess what happened to the tunnel and pool with the new construction. Trebor 204. Couple of pedestrian crossings under major roadways, it says. Tunnel under Dunkirk across from the Canoe Club.
Yeah.
Bishop Grandin and General Meadow.
But those are just like, I included those, but those are just walkways.
Mercy Tunnel, though. That's a shitty name to call a walkway.
That's just
Cool Professor 730 writes, old hydro tunnels under Academy runs to Cinnamon Park.
That's interesting.
Found the entrance in an old bowling alley.
Oh.
I don't know. Old bowling alley, I'm getting like Constantine.
Constantine. Love that movie. Yeah.
Anyway, the old bowling alley tunnels. Yay!
So I'll divulge something now. I'm not sure if I discussed this with Sherry, if I told you this or not.
I don't know.
I know a guy.
Who knows a guy?
No, I know
this, a girl?
I know this guy.
Okay.
We had a conversation about other things.
Okay.
I've known him for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd asked me if we still do the ghost podcast thingy, and I'm like, yes, we do. And then he's like, do you guys ever investigate? I says, no, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I know people who do. He's like, oh, okay. He goes, would you investigate on your own? And I'm like, well, you know, like what's going on?
Yeah, why?
And he's like, have you ever heard anything about the Manitoba Club? And I'm like,
no.
well, when it used to be a gentleman's club back in the 20s, I hear that a hooker was murdered and dragged out the back, and now he goes haunts the place. Allegedly. And he's like, I'm an executive member there. I'm like, oh okay, cool. Allegedly. And then he's like, would you ever want... So, like, you know, and I'm thinking, obviously shit's got to be happening. They're renovating right now for the last few years. And obviously shit's got to be happening for him to actually question and ask me.
I know.
But he wants me to go by myself. He does not want the Winnipeg Paranormal Group. And I respect that. I respect that. So he's going to get me in contact. That's right. He's going to get me in contact with the caretaker manager. That conversation was back in November. I've been busy. He's been busy. Haven't thought about it twice, but that is something I would like to pursue, which would be very interesting. Very interesting. Yes. And I'm only mentioning
no one ever asks about that if they don't have it. You know what I mean?
Right?
They're not going to say, "Oh, do you know that ghost
Have
thing
you
going on?"
Have you ever heard about? Okay, so that was our episode on tunnels. We enjoyed it. It was very, very delicious. Informative.
And hard to speak.
And lots of slurring happening there.
Shamey straight.
There was some Mai Tai induced slurring happening, but that's okay. That's okay. I enjoyed it. Vodka. Are you still drinking the instant coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chef.
Whatever works.
My thing is screwed.
You'll be up till like 2 a.m, but...
I'm putting very minimal in it.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck. It's funny. She started with like 3/4 coffee, like 1/4 vodka. Now it's flipped. So, in saying that, thank you so much for listening to us. We love the ghost love. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for reaching out to us. Definitely get a hold of us on all our socials. All our socials. We particularly love the Facebook. So definitely that's where you'll find us. Who's got time for that? I don't.
Too much.
We did actually have an application. Somebody sent us a resume to be our editor.
That's cool.
That's all cool, but we don't get paid even ourselves.
No.
So it would be nice at some point.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Anyway, but thanks for listening.
Besides, no one would want to listen to our ram. Oh,
how could I? Wouldn't want to. I'd have. Yeah. That'd be sad. So our rambles. Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
they only hear like half.
I know
all the recorded
You should
shit,
see
probably.
how much of this shit I have to edit. It's crazy. So, like, if you people complain, like the few that
maybe
actually,
we should be a little more prompt and good then.
What? Just get to the cut to the chase, cut to the cheese.
Yeah, just cut the cheese.
Boring. It's boring. I mean, I'm not saying we're boring. I'm just saying like we like just to like sort of like ramble a little bit, a little banter back and forth.
Yep.
Because we're human.
Good God, it's a good thing we don't have like an actual radio show. It would be like fucking 5 hours.
I know. 3 hours later.
Oops.
So again, reach out to our socials. We've got May 30th coming up. Please check that out. We have our Spirits with Spirits at
Little Brown
Jug.
No!
Woo! And that is going to be hosted. We're actually in cahoots.
Right after. I can't do it. There you go.
Wait. We're in cahoots with Ravens and Books. Thank you, Chelsea, for instigating this. Also with the lovelies at the Winnipeg Paranormal.
I was trying to do the it's Winnipeg
WPG. Yeah, Winnipeg Paranormal Group.
I know. Yeah,
it's sort of like one-on-one, right? Like it's.
I know. I was like going Winnipeg and WPG.
So we're gonna be hosting the night. It's gonna be storytelling, interviewing, and talking to people, and definitely come out and tell your story. Boo, Spirits with Spirits. We've been wanting this for a long time. So we're hoping everybody can come out. They'll be really, really nice. And remember to live at... Oh, wait. Where do they get hold of us?
Givinguptheghostpodcast@gmail.com.
Excellent. And also remember to live every day like it is your last.
But never give up the ghosts. Never give up the Little Brown Jug.
There we go. She's feeding the cat.
Trying to.